Hi everyone, it's Sally Murray King, and we are back with the Hunger Games, and this time we're going to be doing the 100. I have a small confession to make. I've only seen the first 2 seasons, and it's been a few years since I saw it. So I recognize probably half these characters, so as always, I apologize if I either say the name wrong or I did not get one of the favorite characters, because I don't know them all. And there's a lot of minor characters to pick from. So anyway, I'll just show off what I picked for the 100. In District 1, we have Clark, Octavia, Bellamy, and Raven. In District 2, we have John, Dr. Abigail, Marcus, and Monty. In District 3, we have Nathan, Thelonious, Dr. Eric, and Jasper. Jasper's one of my favorites. In District 4, we have Echo, Indra, Emori, and Harper. In District 5, we have Lincoln, Nyla, Maddie, and Jordan. In District 6, we have Gaia, Shahida, Dr. Gabriel, and Charmaine. In District 7, we have Finn, Dr. Lorelai, Allie, and Jacopo. In District 8, we have Hope, King Roan, Lexa, and Zoe. In District 9, we have Charles, Maya, Hannah, and Fox. In District 10, we have Paxton, Miles, Bill, and Cage. I think Cage. In District 11, we have Jade, Nelson, Brian, and Lieutenant Carl. And finally, in District 12, we have Nico, Blythe, Major Byrne, and President Dante. So let's see who wins. Let's see who's Clark. Actually, I don't even know who the favorite character is in the 100. Anyway, the bloodbath. As the tributes stand on their podiums, the horn sounds. Lexa, Dr. Eric, and Jasper work together to get as many supplies as possible. Dr. Gabriel runs away from the cornucopia. Bellamy runs away from the cornucopia. Nelson grabs a shovel. Maya takes a sickle from inside the cornucopia. Charles, Fox, King Roan, and Jacopo share everything they gathered before running. Monty runs away from the cornucopia. Cage stays at the cornucopia for resources. Octavia runs away from the cornucopia. Maddie runs away from the cornucopia. Echo runs away from the cornucopia. Brian cannot handle the circumstances and commits suicide, so good job, Brian. Bill grabs the shovel. Dr. Lorelai runs away from the cornucopia. Finn runs away from the cornucopia. Hope runs away from the cornucopia. Marcus runs into the cornucopia and hides. Indra clutches a first aid kit and runs away. Nathan runs away from the cornucopia. Nico runs away from the cornucopia. Lieutenant Carl, Shahida, Blythe, and Emori share everything they gathered before running. Clark grabs a backpack, not realizing it is empty. Nyla breaks Paxton's nose for a basket of bread. Major Byrne runs away from the cornucopia. Jordan runs away from the cornucopia. Zoe runs into the cornucopia and hides. John runs away from the cornucopia. Thelonious runs away from the cornucopia. President Dante runs away from the cornucopia. Lincoln grabs a shield leaning on the cornucopia. Raven, Hannah, and Gaia work together to get as many supplies as possible. Dr. Abigail grabs a shovel. There are so many shovels. Charmaine runs away from the cornucopia. Allie finds a bag full of explosives. Miles runs away from the cornucopia. Jade stays at the cornucopia for resources, and Harper runs away from the cornucopia. Holy cow, cornucopia is becomes such a tongue twister once you said your 20th cornucopia. I swear, is the hardest word ever when you say it so many times. Day 1, Charmaine and Dr. Abigail work together for the day. Raven hunts for other tributes. Major Byrne scares Hope off. Nathan, Indra, Jordan, and Allie raid Nyla's camp while she is hunting. Jade sees smoke rise in the distance, but decides not to investigate. King Roan dies from hunger. Wow, from day 1, did you not eat before you go? You're supposed to eat before a big event. John diverts Thelonious' attention and runs away. Monty receives fresh food from an unknown sponsor. Miles runs away from Finn. Maya tends to Dr. Gabriel's wounds. Gaia is pricked by thorns while picking berries. Bill receives a hatchet from an unknown sponsor. Emori attacks Zoe, but she manages to escape. Octavia hunts for other tributes. President Dante goes hunting. Maddie, Fox, Cage, Blythe, and Harper hunt for other tributes. Jacopo, Dr. Lorelai, Lexa, and Shahida hunt for other tributes. Paxton searches for a water source. Lieutenant Carl and Echo work together for the day. Dr. Eric hunts for other tributes. Lincoln collects fruit from a tree. Clark practices for archery. Nico scares Jasper off. Charles and Nelson hunt for other tributes. Bellamy questions his sanity. Marcus attacks Hannah, but she manages to escape. Wow. my favorite characters are all still alive. So we're doing good on my part. I don't know about you guys. I don't know if Brian or King Rowan were one of your favorites, but they're dead. 2 cannon shots can be heard in the distance. Brian, District 11, and King Rowan, District 8. Night 1. Lexa attempts to start a fire, but is unsuccessful. So is Echo. But Dr. Gabriel sets up camp for the night, so that's good. Hannah dies trying to escape the arena. Well, I guess she just didn't like someone attacking her. That's the Hunger Games for you, sweetheart. Lieutenant Carl questions his sanity. Dr. Lorelai dies trying to escape the arena while people are just trying to escape. Amori lets Dr. Abigail into her shelter. Nelson receives medical supplies from an unknown sponsor. Dr. Eric thinks about winning. Paxton, Clark, and Nathan discuss the games and what might happen in the morning. President Dante and Jacopo hold hands. Oh, God. Blythe lets Nyla into her shelter. Monty, Octavia, Major Byrne, and Gaia form a suicide pact, killing themselves. Well, there's 2 of my favorites dead. I like Octavia and Monty. Sad they're dead. Maddie is unable to start a fire and sleeps without warmth. Jordan is awoken by nightmares. Finn receives an explosive from an unknown sponsor. Jade and Charmaine sleep in shifts. Marcus stays awake all night. Nico attempts to start a fire but is unsuccessful. Miles quietly hums. Hope receives fresh food from an unknown sponsor. Charles receives a hatchet from an unknown sponsor. Harper, John, and Shahida discuss the games and what might happen in the morning. Yeah, if Shahida would just die, then I wouldn't have to figure out how to pronounce his name every time I come upon it. Indra sets an explosion off, killing Allie and Lincoln. Another one that I like. Lincoln was pretty cool. I liked him. He's one of my faves. Dang. All the good ones are dying. Kill Shahida, please. You know, Indra, that would be great if you'd get on that. Bill receives medical supplies from an unknown sponsor. Bellamy and Fox run into each other and decide to truce for the night. Raven is unable to start a fire and sleeps without warmth. Cage attempts to start a fire but is unsuccessful. Maya defeats Thelonious in a fight but spares his life. Come on, Maya, you got this. Zoe is awoken by nightmares and Jasper stays awake all night. Yeah, I know, you miss Monty. He did something silly. Finn travels to higher ground. President Dante receives a hatchet from an unknown sponsor. Fox, Bellamy, Echo, and Amori hunt for other tributes. Charles makes a wooden spear. Cage explores the arena. Alexa searches for a water source. Nathan injures himself. John goes hunting. Jasper runs away from Hope. Indra hunts for other tributes. Paxton attacks Dr. Gabriel, but he manages to escape. Raven searches for firewood. Dr. Abigail makes a wooden spear. Jade falls into a frozen lake and drowns. Wow. Miles kills Yes, thank you, Miles. Kills Shahida with a sickle. Nyla practices her archery. Maddie searches for firewood. Dr. Harry constructs a shack. Zoe defeats Marcus in a fight but spares his life. Isn't he bad? I can't remember if he's good or bad, but I think he's bad. Let me know, because I can't remember. I think he's bad. Bill questions the sanity. Jacopo, Blythe, and Nico start fighting, but Blythe runs away as Jacopo kills Nico. Well, there's another one that I have trouble pronouncing, so hooray. Thelonious accidentally detonates the landmine while trying to arm it. Harper begs for Charmaine to kill her. She refuses, keeping Harper alive. Lieutenant Carl kills Jordan with his own weapon. Clark sees smoke rise in the distance but decides not to investigate. Wow. Maya receives a hatchet from an unknown sponsor, and Nelson cannot handle the circumstances and commits suicide. So, bye, Nelson. Wow, 14 people have died. So, 14 gunshots can be heard in the distance. Hannah, District 9. Dr. Lorelai, District 7. Monty, District 2. And Octavia, District 1. Major Byrne, District 12. Gaia, District 6. Allie, District 7, Lincoln, District 5, Jade, District 11, Shahida, District 6, Nico, District 12, Thelonious, District 3, Jordan, District 5, and Nelson, District 11. Night number 2. Raven and Bellamy hold hands. Well, that's cute. Maddie receives fresh food from an unknown sponsor. Dr. Eric defeats Clark in a fight but spares her life. Maya begs for Nathan to kill her. He refuses, keeping Maya alive. Thank God. Dr. Gabriel and Nyla tell stories about themselves to each other. Miles attempts to start a fire, but is unsuccessful. Harper tends to Fox's wounds. Indra receives clean water from an unknown sponsor. Jacopo, Blythe, and Alexa discuss the games and what might happen in the morning. John tries to treat his infection. Bill and Echo sleep in shifts. President Dante destroys Charmaine's supplies while she is asleep. Seems like something you would do anyway. Like, just because. Even if it wasn't Hunger Games. Lieutenant Carl and Dr. Abigail hold hands. Aww. Amora receives an explosive from an unknown sponsor. Cage climbs a tree to rest. Jasper attacks Marcus, but Finn protects him, killing Jasper. God damn it, Finn. Can you screw up anymore? Jesus. Sorry. Paxton, Charles, Hope, and Zoe sleep in shifts. Jasper, Finn has to screw everything up all the time. That's why he dies. He just screws it up. Day 3, Echo attacks Miles, but he manages to escape. Indra searches for a water source. Paxton overhears Maddie and Blythe talking in the distance. Dr. Abigail catches Bellamy off guard and kills him. Wow. Jesus. Dr. Gabriel overhears Charmaine and Clark talking in the distance. Lieutenant Carl, Harper, and Lexa hunt for the tributes. Charles picks flowers. Maury, President Dante, Dr. Eric, and Hope raid Bill's camp while he's hunting. Fox and Jacopo work together for the day. Zoe constructs a shack. Raven receives clean water from an unknown sponsor. John collects fruit from a tree. I don't like him. Maya questions her sanity. Nyla attacks Nathan, but he manages to escape. Finn and Marcus work together for the day. Cage fishes. 2 cannon shots can be heard in the distance. Jasper, District 3, and Bellamy, District 1. Mains are dying. Night 3. Finn lets Dr. Gabriel into a shelter. Maya receives fresh food from an unknown sponsor. Cage, Bill, Raven, and Nyla sleep in shifts. Maury receives a hatchet from an unknown sponsor. Fox is unable to start a fire and sleeps without warmth. Zoe and Paxton track down and kill Blythe. Well, sorry, Blythe. You got voted off the island. Marcus is awoken by nightmares. Charles sees a fire but stays hidden. Dr. Eric sees a fire but stays hidden. Alexa tends to Harper's wounds. Hope bends Charmaine, Maddie, and Clark away from her fire. Jacopo cooks his food before putting out his fire. John, President Dante, to Lieutenant Carl, Nathan, and Andrew sleep in shifts. Echo goes to sleep. Dr. Abigail loses sight of where she is. Miles cooks his food before putting his fire out. Day 4. Clark receives clean water from an unknown sponsor. Jacopo receives fresh food from an unknown sponsor. Maya chases Lieutenant Carl. Marcus begs for Maury to kill him. She refuses, keeping Marcus alive. Bill chases Zoe. Maddie practices her archery. Dr. Gabriel and Raven hunt for other tributes. Fox sees smoke rising in the distance but decides not to investigate. Paxton collects fruit from a tree. President Dante discovers a cave. Charmaine, Nyla, Nathan, and Charles raid Miles' camp while he is hunting. Dr. Eric explores the arena. Dr. Abigail goes hunting. Hope discovers a river. Cage stalks Indra. Echo receives medical supplies from an unknown sponsor. Lexa camouflages herself in the bushes. John begs for Harper to kill him. She refuses, keeping John alive. Finn practices his archery. Stop. Fallen tributes. 1 cannon shot can be heard in the distance. Blythe, District 12. Alright, night 4. Not very many people have died. I mean, we had one big day where 14 people died, but not very many people died. I say that, and you can already see what happens to Lexa, but we'll just read it anyway, just to give her the courtesy of reading it. Finn receives an explosive from an unknown sponsor. Lexa falls into a frozen lake and drowns. President Dante is unable to start a fire and sleeps without warmth. Dr. Eric finds Hope, John, and Miles away from his fire. Lieutenant Carl and Charles hold hands. Wow, Lieutenant Carl gets around. You know what I mean? Andrew starts a fire. Maddie convinces Clark to snuggle with her. Aww. Raven pushes Cage off a cliff during a night fight. Get him, Raven. Charmaine cooks her food before putting her fire out. Harper, Jacopo, Maya, Dr. Abigail, and Maury sleep in shifts. Also, sorry if he was a good guy and she was a bad guy. I don't remember. I remember her more than him. But I just thought it was funny that she pushed him off a cliff. So... just saying. Bill cries himself to sleep. Echo receives a hatchet from an unknown sponsor. Zoe and Marcus talk about the tribute still alive. Paxton sets up camp for the night. Nyla destroys Dr. Gabriel's supplies while he is asleep. Nathan falls into a pit and dies. Fox falls into a frozen lake and drowns. No one is killing each other. They're all just dying from the elements. There's all she wrote. Day 5. Marcus fishes. Finn defeats Bill in a fight but spares his life. Hope fishes. Echo receives clean water from an unknown sponsor. Charmaine overhears Harper and Maddie talking in the distance. There's Clark. For some reason, I thought Clark was dead. And Maury sprains her ankle while running away from Zoe. Clark steals from John while he isn't looking. He deserves it. 100%. Unless he turns it around at some point, but the face tells me he does not. Dr. Eric overhears Indra and Raven talking in the distance. Dr. Gabriel receives a hatchet from an unknown sponsor. Lieutenant Carl goes hunting for more people to hold hands with. Yeah, I know. That's your deal. Charles attacks Nyla, but she manages to escape. Jacopo receives medical supplies from an unknown sponsor. Miles sprains his ankle while running away from Maya. Dr. Abigail makes a wooden spear. President Dante fishes, and Paxton collects fruit from a tree. 4 cannon shots can be heard in the distance. Lexa, District 8, Cage, District 10, Nathan, District 3, and Fox, District 9. Oh, so more people are holding hands. Charmaine and President Dante hold hands in Night 5. And John, Jacopo, Echo, and Maddie sleep in shifts. Marcus pushes Clark off a cliff during a night fight. Well, I'm sorry, Clark fans. Clark is now out of the running. Because Marcus be a bad guy. Dr. Eric cries himself to sleep. Charles receives medical supplies from an unknown sponsor. Hope receives medical supplies from an unknown sponsor. Raven begs for Dr. Abigail to kill her. She refuses, keeping Raven alive. Nyla receives an explosive from an unknown sponsor. Indra begs for Lieutenant Carl to kill her. He refuses, keeping Indra alive. Zoe tends to Mori's wounds. Bill and Miles fight Paxton and Maya. Paxton and Maya's fight. Yes, Maya, you did it! Oh, Harper silently snaps Finn's neck. Ooh, you can't even win in the Hunger Games, Finn. Oof. Shame. Such a shame. You know, I actually really liked him until the very end of the first season, and then disappointment. Dr. Gabriel receives medical supplies from an unknown sponsor. Day 6, John attacks Jacopo, but he manages to escape. Raven questions her sanity. No, Maya, come on! So hoping she'd be the winner. I did the Stranger Things, Hunger Games, and freaking Bob won. And I was so happy for him, and I was hoping the same thing would happen with Maya, but you can't always get what you want. It's random! Maya falls into a pit and dies. Charmaine unknowingly eats toxic berries. Dr. Eric, Hope, Maury, and Lieutenant Carl raid Nyla's camp while she is hunting. Echo discovers a river. Indra, Dr. Gabriel, and Paxton hunt for other tributes. Dr. Abigail dies from hypothermia. I was going to say, at least I know who Dr. Abigail is, but no, she's dead too. Maddie discovers a river. Marcus stabs Zoe while her back is turned. Wow. Harper begs for Charles to kill her. He refuses, keeping Harper alive. President Dante receives a hatchet from an unknown sponsor. I know I don't want him to win. I know he's a bad guy. Just by looking at him. You know? You just get that feel. Sorry, I don't know everybody. 8 cannon shots can be heard in the distance. Clark, District 1. Bill, District 10. Miles, District 10. Finn, District 7. Maya, District 9. Charmaine, District 6. Dr. Abigail, District 2. And Zoe, District 8. I don't even know if I know anyone now. I think I know Indra. Night 6. Dr. Eric and Paxton hold hands. Maddie receives an explosive from an unknown sponsor. Charles and Emori sleep in shifts. Nyla quietly hunts. President Dante dies from thirst. Thank God. I think I know Raven and Marcus. I can't remember if Marcus is bad, though. And I know Jacopo. Dr. Gabriel fends Lieutenant Carl, Marcus, and Raven away from his fire. Jacopo falls into a frozen lake and drowns. Harper, Echo, and Hope discuss the games and what might happen in the morning. I think I know Harper, too. And I know John. John and Indra run into each other and decide to choose for the night. I know Indra, and I know John, and I don't like John. John should die. Cool. The cornucopia is replenished with food, supplies, weapons, and memoirs from the tributes to families, which is the feast. Raven severely injures Nyla and leaves her to die. Well, at least Raven's still alive. John decides not to go to the feast. Maddie decides not to go to the feast. Paxton decides not to go to the feast. Charles kills Harper with a sickle. Well, there goes one more than I know. Indra decides not to go to the feast. Hope decides not to go to the feast. Dr. Eric decides not to go to the feast. Gabriel destroys Lieutenant Carl's memories out of spite. Well, you're mean, Dr. Gabriel. You're supposed to be a doctor. Don't be a jerk. Marcus gathers as much food into a bag as he can before fleeing. Echo decides not to go to the feast, and Emori falls into a pit and dies. Everyone's just dying in pits and frozen lakes. Gosh. Day 7. Lieutenant Carl receives fresh food from an unknown sponsor. Marcus picks flowers. Paxton and Indra split up to search for resources. Charles is pricked by thorns while picking berries. Hope travels to higher ground. Raven explores the arena. Dr. Gabriel receives fresh food from an unknown sponsor. Dr. Eric picks flowers. John's trap kills Maddie. Well, there's another one John killed, huh? Echo picks flowers. Proceed. 6 cannon shots can be heard in the distance. President Dante, District 12. Jacopo, District 7. Nyla, District 5. Harper, District 4. Emori, District 4. And Maddie, District 5. Night 7. Paxton sets up camp for the night. Dr. Eric attempts to start a fire, but is unsuccessful. Echo climbs a tree to rest. Dr. Gabriel shoots an arrow at Indra, but misses and kills Charles instead. Hope passes out from exhaustion. John destroys Lieutenant Carl's supplies while he is asleep. Raven sets up camp for the night, and Marcus cooks his food before putting his fire out. Whew. Day 8. Dr. Gabriel attacks Lieutenant Carl, but he manages to escape. John tries to spear Fish with a trident and fails because he sucks. Marcus is pricked by thorns while picking berries. Raven receives fresh food from an unknown sponsor. Indra makes a slingshot. Echo discovers a river. Dr. Eric, Paxton, and Hope hunt for other tributes. One cannon shot can be heard in the distance. Charles District 9. Night 8. Indra starts a fire. Raven loses sight of where she is. John and Marcus hold hands. What a duo. Dr. Gabriel falls into a frozen lake and drowns. Man, you'd think with all the dead bodies in those frozen lakes, they would stop doing that. Echo looks at the night sky. Dr. Eric pins Lieutenant Carl, Hope, and Paxton away from his fire. Day 9. Echo poisons Hope's drink but mistakes it for her own and dies, so Hope is still alive. Lieutenant Carl questions his sanity. Marcus tries to spear Fish with a trident. Raven camouflages herself in the bushes. John catches Paxton off guard and kills him. Indra receives clean water from an unknown sponsor, and Dr. Eric picks flowers. 3 cannon shots can be heard in the distance. Dr. Gabriel, District 6. Echo, District 4, and Paxton, District 10. I cannot believe we're on day 9. Night 9. We're on night 9. Holy cow, we're going a long time. Past a week. Hope tends to John's wounds. Raven lets Indra into her shelter. Lieutenant Carl begs for Marcus to kill him. He refuses, keeping Lieutenant Carl alive. So far, no one during this whole challenge has killed someone when they beg to die. It's amazing. Dr. Eric questions his sanity. Day 10. Indra receives an explosive from an unknown sponsor. Raven cannot handle the circumstances and commits suicide. Dang it. I only have one character I know that I actually would like to win. Dr. Eric defeats Hope in a fight but spares her life. Lieutenant Carl dies from hypothermia. John picks flowers, and Marcus accidentally steps on a landmine. Please don't let John win. I don't care who else. Oh, thank God. The volcano erupts at the center of the arena. John suffocates. Dr. Eric survives. Indra is buried in ash, and Hope suffocates. Well, it looks like the big winner. I don't think anyone's happy about this. I don't know, Dr. Eric. I have no idea. 6 cannon shots can be heard in the distance. Raven, District 1. Lieutenant Carl, District 11. Marcus, District 2. John, District 2. Indra, District 4. And Hope, District 8. The winner is Dr. Eric. I don't know if anyone knows who that is or cares, but yeah, Dr. Eric is the winner. Woo! I don't know who that is. Paxton looks like he killed the most people. Alright. I need my notebook real quick. Which, you know what? We're down to a couple more. We have 2 more episodes before the finale. Dr. Eric from the 100. Beautiful. Anyway, so we have 2 episodes, so we're at the finale. Hooray! We're doing so good. If you like this video, please leave a like. If you want more of this content, I upload every Wednesday, so feel free to subscribe. If you know someone who would be interested in this content, please share it. It is going to be there for anyone to watch. It would be lovely if people could share it. And if there's any Hunger Games you would like to see, please comment. I'm doing so many Pokemon Hunger Games because that's the only direction I've gotten from people. Otherwise, the 100, any of the other ones, those are all my idea. Disney princesses and Pokemon. Those are my only 2 suggestions. I think I got another one from a friend, but that one's further down the road. So yeah, if there's 100 Hunger Games that you would like to see, please comment it. I will add it for sure to the list. So it might take a little bit, but it'll be on the list. I promise. But yeah, anyway, hopefully I'll see you guys next time. Bye.